तो हेलो दोस्तों, स्वागत है आप सभी का मेरे इस चैनल में जिसका नाम है रेंडियर गेमिंग। और आ चुके हैं हम अगले भाग में दी आउटर वर्ल्ड के और हेलिकन हेलेन डीएलसी के। तो भाई जैसे कि आपको पता है पिछली पार्ट्स में ट्विस्ट आ गया था सारा गजब वाला कि भैया वो तो हेलिकन हेलेन की बहने भुने बहन थी बेलिंडा। और उसके बाद कैप्टन गो होम। अब इसके बाद हमारे पास तीन ऑप्शन आ रहे हैं भाई मेरे, जिसमें से हमें दो तो ऑप्शनल गोल करने हैं, गोल कह दो मिशन करने हैं। और इसमें करना है रिटर्न टू एडीए, ठीक है ना। योर वर्क एज अ फ्रीलांसर इंस्पेक्टर फाइनली कम टू एंड, चेक इन विद दी एडीए, ठीक है ना। लेकिन हम बात करेंगे पहले हेलेन से और सेड्रिक से, और उसके बाद से गुड बाय टू हेलेन बिफोर लिविंग सेड्रिक वेटिंग बाय द लैंडिंग पैड, ठीक है ना भाई। तो पहले हम बात करेंगे हेलेन से, फिर सेड्रिक से, और भाई चलेंगे। साले मर जा, गजब। ओ भाई साहब, फिर तेरी भैया की जय, मुंडी काट दी भाई साहब। एक बार ये तुम्हें देख लेते हैं ना, उसके बाद तो भाई गोलियां काम नहीं करती इन पे, इतने ताकतवर हो जाते हैं। तो भैया हमने सारा मिशन कर लिया, मिस्ट्री भी सॉल्व कर दी। और कोई है भाई? वेंडिंग मशीन है क्या यहाँ आसपास? है नहीं शायद। तो हमारा हेलिकन हेलेन डीएलसी जो है भाई समाप्ति पे आ चुका है, क्योंकि हमने कर ली है सॉल्व हेलेन की मर्डर मिस्ट्री। एक्चुअली वो हेलेन नहीं थी, वो बेलिंडा थी जो मरी। रिंग तो इस प्लेनेट के आसपास भी है। इसके बाद सेल क्या करेंगे हम? इसे सेल कर दो यार, हमें नहीं चाहिए। और बाय क्या करेंगे हम? अरे इसमें भी तो सेल करना है हमने। ना यहाँ तो कुछ और है नहीं ज़्यादा। अरे रुक जाओ भाई, ये क्या है भाई? कितने की, कितने की पड़ेंगे ये मेरे को? ओके, ले लिए भाई। 71 हो गए अब हमारे पास हेल्थ के वो। 71, 71। इस डीएलसी में बातें वगैरह बहुत करनी पड़ी। ये क्या है भाई? ठीक है, और ये खड़ी है हेलेन। पहले हेलेन से मिलेंगे, फिर जाएंगे। 2 मिनट दो भाई। चलो भाई आ चुके हैं हम फिर से, हेलेन जी से बात करें।
I must have dreamed up 100 different ways to kill Ludovico. I'll be honest, eaten alive by the queen of the brain slugs wasn't on that list. Is that so strange? I imagine this moment would be a little more cathartic. But Belinda's still gone, and I don't feel all that different.
इसके बाद क्या है? Give it time. You know what you need. A nice code. Bring your sister back. Save this drama for your next serial. I've got places to be. I didn't help you because I like you.
I can't go back to the way things were. I can't return to my old life because it was never my life to begin with. It was shared. Never mind, you don't need to listen to this. Thank you again for your help, Captain. I never would have made it this far without you.
चलो एक से बात हो गई.
Thank you for everything. If you're lucky, we'll cross orbits again.
तो ये अब कहाँ जाएगी? सेड्रिक साहब से बात करो. दुश्मन ऑफ लुडविक.
Ludovico was eaten by a giant slug? What an
ये क्या हो रहा भाई?
absolute tragedy. There's only room for one slug boss on Eridanos. Very brave of the slug, though. Lou must have tasted so bitter. Ludovico was eaten by a giant slug?
कुछ नहीं भाई, तेरे से बात करने का कोई मतलब नहीं था. एक ही बात रिपीट करे जा रहा. और अब हम चलते हैं रिटर्न टू एडीए. और यहाँ पर हमारा सफ़र हुआ पूरा भाई एरिडानोस का. पहले उस एरिया में गए थे हम, ऑर्किड में. चलो भाई. वापिस अपनी शिप में घुस गए भाई, इतने टाइम बाद.
Welcome back, Captain. Or shall I call you Inspector?
हाँ
What
जी.
can I do for you?
There are something else I needed.
During your absence, I passed the time by simulating a number of hypothetical conclusions to this case. Unfortunately, my understanding of the facts is limited, and my appraisal of the individuals involved is not flattering. Therefore, my conclusions are inaccurate.
हमारे भी यही थे भाई, inaccurate. I can tell you what happened if you like.
Yes, Captain. Thank you for satisfying.
It is complicated.
That seems impossible. Can you?
Helican Hannah was played by twin.
Interesting. I did not account for the possibility of multiple. This information is
Murder of
valuable to me.
on Eridanos.
I will update my behavior
Trophy खुल गई
simulation
भाई.
protocol accordingly. Thank. How can I be of assistance? I'll be.
और भाई ये हमारा, यहाँ पर हमें क्या चाहिएगा? यार ये हमारा कैसे कम हो गया भाई? हमने ऐसी क्या गड़बड़ करी है? साइंस बढ़ा दो यार. चलो. और भाई हमारी इसे भी कर दो यार, ये तो ये रोता फिरेगा. चलो भाई. अब एरिडानोस की हमारी जॉब हुई ख़त्म. अब हमारे पास बात भाई आता है डीएलसी, ये गोर्गन वाला. ये है जो हमारा ब्रेव न्यू वर्ल्ड तो भाई तुम्हें पता है कि इसके बाद हम कहीं जा नहीं सकते, हम फंस जाएंगे यहीं पर सोफिया कांडे वाले मिशन पे। मेक योर वे टू टार्टरस, कन्फ्रंट द पर्सन हु रन्स द बोर्ड ऑपरेशन सोफिया अकांडे। तो भाई हम जाएंगे द वन हु वॉक्स अवे फ्रॉम द गॉर्गन, जिसमें हमारे को एक मैसेज मिला था भाई मेरे, ओपन द पैकेज करके आया था हॉथोन के लिए, और उसमें एक कटा हुआ हाथ के साथ एक मशीन थी जो बोल रही थी, रिकॉर्डिंग मशीन। तो भाई हमें चलना है गॉर्गन पे। देखिए भाई इस प्लेनेट पे क्या होगा नया हमारे लिए। बाकी मुझे लग रहा था यार हेलेन से सेड्रिक से थोड़ी लंबी बातचीत होगी, ऐसा कुछ हुआ नहीं ज़्यादा। यार वैसे तो मेरा मन है और किसी को भी लेके जाऊं, लेकिन ना ये नियोका और ये दोनों कंपेनियन मुझे ज़्यादा बेटर लगते हैं यार। फिलिक्स भी अच्छा है, लेकिन फिलिक्स बीच में चिल्लाता बहुत है। ओहो।
Welcome to Ambrose Manor. We were not expecting company.
ओ भाई
Please
साहब,
follow. Do not stray from the path.
Aw, that's no fun.
भाई साहब किस जगह है, कितने तारे हैं यहाँ, तो ज़्यादा ही तारे दिख रहे भाई। गिर गया बहुत,
Been there,
गिर
little
गया
guy.
चूतिया। साला किस तरह गिरा।
Compensating for structural damage. Error.
कुछ नहीं भाई, इसकी तो दादी चूत गई। मैं कुछ नहीं पकड़ रहा, शोवल और एक्स पर याद रखूंगा कहीं आगे जरूरत पड़ गई। नहीं कुछ नहीं है आसपास भाई।
Keep your guard up. Could be all manner of surprises in there.
अबे हवा में
At the
मच्छी
very
है क्या?
least, there ought to be
नहीं
something
नहीं,
worth stealing in there.
हवा में नहीं है भाई मच्छी। मुझे ऐसा क्यों लग रहा है यहाँ पर भी कुछ मिशन मुशन हो सकता। उधर कोने पे कुछ है, वो देखो वहाँ, वहाँ जाके देखते हैं। लॉक पिक भी बढ़ाना था यार, चलो बाद में देखेंगे। और तो कुछ नहीं।
Okay, maybe not.
ओ भाई
Take it
साहब,
back. Ain't nothing here but memories.
मुझे लगा टूट जाएगा कांच, पर चलना पड़ेगा ऊपर। यार मिलना किससे था मैं? मिनी एम्ब्रोस
Apparently not.
किससे बात
Join
करी?
me for a drink,
ओ भाई
Mr.
साहब,
whoever you
गजब।
are. So who the devil are you?
एलेक्स हॉथॉर्न, डैशिंग स्पेस कैप्टन, स्मगलर एंड फ्री स्पिरिट। नंबर हुआ है।
I was just enjoying some time with my thoughts and this fine whiskey. But I don't mind the interruption. Do you see that glowing chunk of
आईब्रोज
space
गजब
rock?
बनवा रखी है महिला ने।
That's Gorgon. My birthright, my burden, and the bane of my existence. I hate to drink alone, and this is my third. So join me in raising a glass to Gorgon.
Toast to Gorgon. Are you Mini Ambrose?
That's right. And I take it you're the type who skips formalities, so let's get down to business. Now, what brings you to my house, handsome? I take it you didn't come all this way for the beverages, the starry skies, or the pleasant company.
Severed arms, just seeing the sight, roaming the colony.
A severed arm? How positively ghoulish. You know this is a private residence, not a curio shop?
Does the name Lucky Montoya means anything to you?
Lucky Montoya is my personal freelancer. Fascinating man. Very brooding and theatrical. Always staring into space and twirling a bullet over his knuckles.
He's definitely not doing that anymore.
But if something happened to him... Oh dear. I suppose that makes him my former freelancer now?
What his arm doing in my ship? Any idea who might have wanted him to kill?
You suspect foul play? Interesting. If we're being honest, I haven't given it much thought. What a time for his luck to run out. We were in the middle of something grand, and I really can't afford another setback.
Let me guess, you need someone to finish whatever Lucky started. What were you two doing? His recording mentioned high stakes.
Funny that you should bring that up. How would you
Sorry.
like to be my new freelancer? There's been a recent vacancy, and I think you're well suited to the job.
Remember, play hard to get. That's negotiation.
You're awful quick to trust a bunch of strangers that broke into your home.
I'm looking for someone rough around the edges. A gorgeous, dashing scoundrel type. Incidentally, someone good with their hands.
Are you seriously offering me the dead sky job? How likely am I to wind up like your old freelancer? Give me the reality.
The man lost an arm. What are the odds of that happening twice? Of course, Gorgon is a treacherous place, and my own family's involvement with it has been fraught.
कुछ तो पंगा है भाई, यही कह सकता हूँ मैं.
You can decide for yourself if you want to be my chief investigator. My mother, Dr. Olivia Ambrose, worked for Spacer's Choice at the Gorgon Research Facility. She was brilliant, the top scientist in her field, until tragedy struck.
I'm not surprised.
One day, Spacer's Choice shut down all research and evacuated Gorgon. Everyone had to scramble or risk getting left behind. It was chaos. Employees fled for their lives. Mother never made it home. I'm told she wasn't the only casualty that fateful day. Mother's name has since been dragged through the mud. Spacer's Choice blames her for the collapse of Project Gorgon, and I just know they're lying.
Okay. What do you need for me? Why would they lie? Sounds like she was the corporation patsy. What did they say about her?
Everything you can imagine and more. Dereliction of duty, circulating anti-corporate memos.
मतलब
taking longer than
blame
average
डाल रहे थे इसकी माँ के
coffee
सर पे,
breaks.
सीधी
The
बात
list
सारा.
goes on. Mother would not have allowed Project Gorgon to fail. Something happened on that asteroid, and my family took the fall for it.
What did you say?
The truth. Mother is gone, Gorgon is silent, and I deserve answers.
What do you think happened on Gorgon?
I don't know. And Spacer's Choice won't say. They don't discuss anything that tarnishes their brand. Gorgon has a dark history. The project fell apart. Personnel were shuffled across the system. With Mother gone, now I'm all that's left.
Where's your father?
Father lost more than his job on Gorgon. I'll say no more than that. The asteroid may look like a glittering jewel, but I assure you the resemblance ends there. Gorgon is poisonous to the core. One might even say cursed.
I've heard enough. Tell me about your mother.
I admired Mother, but we weren't close. She disapproved of everything about me, really. I couldn't measure up to her example. She didn't make time for us. I remember thinking that she never wanted a child, and never forgave me for being one, naive and irresponsible as I was.
Sounds familiar, Ellie.
Trust me, we are nothing alike.
A kindred spirit. Well, well, charmed. Today is full of surprises. Mother worked herself to the bone. She wanted to make the colony a better place, no matter who or what got sacrificed along the way. She never spared a thought for those of us who cherished her, who suffered for her idea of progress.
So Gorgon pulled you apart. Sounds like she was pretty consumed by her work.
We got close once. When I was a child, I enjoyed looking over Mother's shoulder, playing backseat chemist while she peered into a microscope. One day, she told me to leave before I broke something. Then, I got mad and broke something. Typical night in the Ambrose house. Mother and Gorgon were made for each other. I had the misfortune to be stuck in the middle. I need your help, Captain. Project Gorgon killed Mother and disgraced the Ambrose name, and no one has been held accountable. Spacer's Choice buried the past like a dirty secret.
We're practically stranger.
You
बिल्कुल.
followed an uncertain lead all the way to my doorstep. You're curious, resourceful, and perceptive. All the marks of a good private eye. Whatever happened on Gorgon wasn't Mother's fault. I simply need the evidence to prove it. We're going to drag the truth kicking and screaming into the light. Even if it means bringing ruin and humiliation to Spacer's Choice.
ठीक है.
All the evidence I need should be in Mother's journal. You can find it in her office on Gorgon, in the heart of the old research facility.
First, I have question about the job. If it's help you to get closure, I'll find the general. Danger, corporate intrigue. That sounds like my kind of job. Don't worry, if Spacer's Choice is hiding something, I'll get to the bottom. I can.
I admire your enthusiasm. This manor has echoed with my ennui, and I can feel you breathing new life into the walls. When you reach Gorgon, pack a weapon you trust. The corporate lockdown hasn't stopped the wilderness from squirming in through the cracks.
ठीक है.
I've never understood why, but Gorgon is teeming with marauders. They almost seem drawn to sorrow and misfortune. Then there's the test subjects, those who survived anyway. Ravenous creatures left behind like so much self.
What did you tell Lucky about the job?
I told him everything I've told you. Just the facts. Maybe a couple of hard...
I tried to calculate the hours and gig. Getting me killed?
Still, you're smart to ask. Lucky spent most of our time together spinning a pistol around his index finger. Not sure he listened to any of my advice.
More bravado than talent, huh? I know the type.
He had an aura of rugged individualism that was quite charming. Not that it helped him in the end. But you won't let me down, will you, Captain?
The more I hear about this road, the worse it sounds. I'll try not to, since it's my life on the line.
That's the spirit. There's a little saloon near Gorgon's landing pad, the Sprat Shack. Lucky was renting a room, so if you want to follow his trail, that would be the place to start.
I think I've heard of that place. Cheap whiskey, rough crowd. You'll love it.
ये सब जानती है एली भाई सब जानती है.
Just so we understand each other, money is no object. I'm willing to squander the family fortune if you get me what I want. Between your payment and any salvage you happen across, you'll walk away from this rich enough to buy a mansion of your own. How does that sound?
What's the catch? There's always a catch.
The catch? No one's ever done this before, and the only person who tried is a corpse. Believe me, that's enough. Here's your nav key, Captain. Safe travels.
Maybe you don't need to hear this from me.
Spacer's Choice should be the one apologizing, but thank you. Sincerely. A word of advice before you go, Captain. Trust no one.
तेरी
Myers'
बात पे क्यों
office
करूं
is in
फिर
the
मैं?
heart of the Gorgon facility. You're free to salvage anything that isn't nailed down. I only want what's mine.
Salvage rights and a paycheck? This is almost too good to be true.
It's not theft if she's giving us permission.
चलो भाई, जाते हैं भाई इस गॉर्गन पे. इसकी दारू की बोतल लेके भागो. बताओ, इसकी भी अपनी कहानी है. लो, स्पेस में तो यार थोड़ा सा वो होना चाहिए कि उड़ जाऊं मैं हवा में, हल्का सा. ये पड़ा यहीं पे चूतिया. चलो भाई, गॉर्गन की तरफ बढ़ते हैं. गॉर्गन. हाँ, इसी पे जाना है भाई. द गॉर्गन लैंडिंग
We are
पैड.
now in orbit of Earth orbit.
मैं सोच रहा कहाँ जाऊँ मैं. इन्हीं दोनों को लेके चलेंगे भाई हम.
Well, here we... Hey, is that a
हम वहाँ से आए
saloon?
हैं भाई लोगों.
I feel better already.
सामने आते पहले नजर पड़ी कि वहाँ से आया हूँ मैं. ओ भाई, ये तो अलग ही तरह का स्प्रैट है. कर दिया मैंने, मुझे पता नहीं है मैंने क्या करा. कोई भी नहीं दिख रहा यहाँ तो. और कुछ तो है नहीं. दारू की बोतलें ही हैं. दारू की बोतलें. इतनी सारी दारू की बोतलें कौन पीता है बहन बहन का टका. पता नहीं क्या है भाई मेरे, लेकिन यहीं चलते हैं. स्प्रैट शैक.
Come here. Let's have it. All right, inspection time. Look at my eyes for
हॉफमैन.
as long as you can without blinking. Starting now. Good. Look up. Now look down. Thank you. Got him from my mother. You're doing swell. Now, name and occupation. I could do without the sass, but that's good enough. You're cleared. That was a sanity check. If you had changed like the others, it'd be in your eyes. You'd also be drooling, cursing, and making a mess of the place.
मतलब यहाँ कुछ और चल
Welcome
रहा
to the
भाई,
Sprat Shack.
तगड़े वाला.
You can head on downstairs.
What do you mean by when you said?
Every day, salvagers and scrappers set out to comb the ruins and make their fortune. The ones who come back, they aren't always the same men or women who left. They change. Never for the better. First, they get real twitchy and paranoid, shouting at folks who aren't there. Then they smell like they soiled themselves, on account of how they soiled themselves. After that, they're gone. Nothing but animals wearing human skin. Seen it happen myself. It's never pretty. This is the Sprat Shack, the most remote watering hole in the system. Rule number 1, no
इसके
fighting.
नाक के नथुने कैसे
Rule
हिल
number
रहे हैं?
2, wipe your feet on the way
Nostrils.
downstairs. We're the only hospitable place on this rock. I want to keep it that way. That's why we have rule number 3. When people change, they stay outside, where they belong. Just don't. Bouncer, bodyguard, law enforcer.
And I thought this place was gonna be fun.
Well, I hope you look the other way just this once.
We get a lot of brand-loyal corporate types, and a lot of cut. Something bad happened here. Spacer's Choice was developing chemicals. The kind with nasties. Marauders outnumber the rest of us 10 to 1. Either they came from Gorgon, or something draws them here. I don't know which is worse. This place is under a dark cloud, stranger. That's all I know. If you want the history of the Sprat Shack, talk to Lex behind the bar. This is a sublight. If you're heading down...
यहाँ पर कोई बार है क्या?
Nice to... Stay cool.
सब चुरा लूंगा भाई साहब, सारा माल चुरा लूंगा भाई.
Smell that? Cheap whiskey and stale cigarettes. My kind of place.
बेवड़ी दारू पी के चली जा तू.
Since I
हट.
had a good trip at Kale. Hope they've got it on tap.
ओके, यहाँ लोग हैं अभी.
Welcome to the Sprat Shack. First one's on the
Lex.
house, and I won't even water it down. What'll it be?
Whiskey, wine, make it purple baby.
Bottoms up. It's not every day that Sublight's vice president strolls in through the front door. You here on business? But I paid my dues last week. This is bullshit. Here. Next time I see Hagen, she's buying me dinner.
ये तो मैंने.
I can't believe that worked. We gotta try that more often.
Was that really necessary?
We don't get a lot of you VIP types around here. Let me know if you need anything special. I assume you're here for salvage. Even if I did, I ain't supposed to play favorites. Most of my regulars are sublight scavengers. They pick over the ruins of Gorgon, spend their earnings at the bar, and head back out the next day. Vicious cycle, but that's life. You're the first new face I've seen in a while. Or maybe a sugar sprat pop.
बहुत कम उसके हैं आर्मर है यार ये. सब रिपेयर करवा लिया मैंने.
No.
चलो क्यों नहीं दी.
Lucky? Sure, I knew him. He could get a little dramatic at times, but he was a
कटा
good
हुआ
guy.
हाथ है हमारे पास उसका.
Heard he took on a dangerous job. Spent a lot of time coming and going from the Office of Creative Incubation, just down the road. That's where the top rungers at Spacer's Choice came up with slogans and marketing. Lucky never told me why it was so important. Awful shame about what happened to him. You really want to hear my story? Law, most everyone around here is sick to death of it by now. Last I saw of Lucky was a few days ago. I
अच्छा.
went outside for a smoke and a stroll, and I saw this wild canid dragging a bloody limb. So I kicked the canid, scared it off. Get this, the canid was chewing on an honest-to-law human arm. Lucky's arm. I'm a bartender. Attention to detail is my middle name. Anyway, the arm was clutching a phonograph that mentioned someone named Alex Hawthorne. I did some poking around, and this Hawthorne has a reputation among the salvagers who frequent the bar. So I packaged up the arm nice and tidy and sent it care of the Halcyon Parcel Service. They even gave me a discount on the hazardous waste removal stamp.
ओके तो लेक्स नहीं हमें आम भेजा था उसका नेक्स्ट ऑफ किन सॉर्ट ऑफ व्हाई बॉदर सेंडिंग द आर्म एट ऑल.
I figured Hawthorne would want to know what happened to his pal. Help Lucky get his affairs in order, you know. Oh, I hate to see people go with unfinished business.
Made it to me. I am Hawthorne's next of kin, sort of.
No kidding. And now you're here? Colony feels smaller than you'd think some days. I'm glad I was here to see this confluence of events, you know? The stars really aligned on this one. And here I am, smack dab in the middle.
Where was Lucky?
3rd floor. Once I figured he wasn't coming back to pay his tab, I left his room unlocked to air it out. You can help yourself to anything you left behind. Fair warning, I've been letting the regulars use it for a quick lie down. Just wash your hands when you're done. Trust me.
ठीक है.
Spacer's Choice used to brew pharmaceuticals in these parts. That's why the asteroid smells like an old gym sock. They say Adrenatime came from here, just down the road at the old R&D lab. Very hush-hush back in the day.
अच्छा ये भी ठीक है जो हम वो नहीं लगाते अपने आप को घुसेड़ के हेल्थ बढ़ाने के लिए. Salvager must be making fortune of Gorgon.
Damn right we are. We've got drugs, scrap metal, prototype weapons, drugs, money, and more drugs. When Spacer's Choice evacuated, everyone dropped their gear and ran. Most of it stayed.
यहाँ पर मुझे लग रहा है इस पे गोर्गोन पे ना बहुत ज़्यादा तबाही तो भी मिलेगी या लेकिन एक्शन चाहिए भाई. वो तो इन्फॉर्मेशन कलेक्ट करने के लिए मैं बात कर रहा हूँ.
I doubt anyone knows the full story. One day the evacuation order went out. Grunts and lab coats scrambled to get anywhere but Gorgon. And the weirdest thing of all, Adrenatime still hit the market. Me, I never touched the stuff. To each their own, but I think it's dangerous. You got it, bub. Yes and no. The Sprat Shack used to be a shipping and receiving warehouse during the old Project Gorgon day. When Spacer's Choice pulled their guys off-world, Sublight moved into Sal...
So Sublight's on the Sprat Shack now.
Yes and no. Rumor has it there's a Sprat wandering around the Groundbreaker. And he's the legal owner of the Sprat Shack. Hagen's idea. See, Hagen didn't want a paper trail that led back to her, so she gave the bar to the Sprat. If there were any legal problems with this place, the Sprat would do the time.
You know, they do something similar in Byzantium. Fancier system, but...
Anyway, that's what the As far as business arrangement...
चलो भाई।
Yes and no. We're doing a lot more than squatting. We're classing up the joint, keeping the riffraff outside where it belongs. They didn't even serve. What's your. Thirsty people come and go from all over the colony, mostly on the way to somewhere better. Some are well connected. That's how we get the unconventional goods, anyhow. Sublight keeps us well stocked with the essentials, by which I mean booze. Come back when you're thirsty.
चलो भाई, इससे बात होगी, हमें इंसाइट मिल गई है काफ़ी चीज़ों की, ठीक है ना? प्लाज्मा वेपन के लिए होगा। गंदी सी म्यूजिक बज गई फिर से। ओ भाई साहब,
They got the drop on us. Don't mess with me.
अरे भागो।
I don't want to die.
यार ऐसा तो नहीं होना चाहिए था।
You're dead. Put him in the dirt.
ना 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 ना, ये तो नहीं होना चाहिए था भाई मेरे। तो भाई लोगों, मैंने वापस लोड करा है गेम को, और हम आप बच गए भाई किसी तरीके से लोड करने से। अब मैं कुछ स्टील नहीं करूंगा, अपना काम करूंगा और निकल लूंगा यहाँ से। ये तो बड़ी खतरनाक जगह है और बड़े खतरनाक लोग हैं। चलो, मैं और किसी चीज में पढ़ ही नहीं रहा भाई। तो देखो, हम आ चुके हैं गॉर्गन पे, जो कि है दूसरा डीएलसी। ये तो लड़ रहे हैं चूतिया। तो भाई मैं ये कह रहा था, अब आ चुके हैं हम गॉर्गन प्लैनेट पे पता लगाने के लिए मिनी जो भी थी और वो जो हमें कटा हुआ हाथ मिला था लकी मोन्टाया का, उसके राज के बारे में, और क्या चल रहा है इस गॉर्गन प्लैनेट के ऊपर या एस्ट्रॉयड के ऊपर, ठीक है ना? लेकिन भाई हमारा हो चुका है यहाँ पर इस वक्त तक का टाइम समाप्त। तो मिलूंगा मैं आप सभी से अगली वीडियो में। हाँ मैं जानता हूँ इसमें ज़्यादा एक्शन नहीं था, लेकिन मिशन डीएलसी से रिलेटेड ही इंफॉर्मेशन और इंसाइट मिली है हमें। लेकिन अगले भाग में शायद हो सकता है हमें एक्शन मिले बढ़िया वाला, ठीक है? तो मिलूंगा मैं अगले भाग में। इस भाग के लिए इतना ही। नए आए हो तो लाइक कमेंट सब्सक्राइब शेयर सब कर दो भाई लोगों। मिलता हूँ मैं अगले भाग में, और जल्दी से जल्दी मैं इस गेम को ख़त्म करने के उसमें हूँ भाई मेरे। मैं खुद चाहता हूँ जल्दी हो जाए, इसलिए मैं बिल्कुल भी परवाह नहीं कर रहा अगर थोड़ी वीडियो लेंथी बन रही है। मैं जनरली वीडियोस 25-30 मिनट तक की रखना चाहता हूँ, या मैक्सिमम 35 की। लेकिन इस गेम में मैं ऊपर जा रहा हूँ इसी वजह से, क्योंकि मुझे पता है आरपीजी गेम्स टाइम, इट टेक्स टाइम टू प्ले आरपीजी गेम। सीधी बात है बॉस, कि आरपीजी गेम्स टाइम लेंगी, आपका कंज्यूम करेंगी, क्योंकि बहुत बातचीत होती है आरपीजी गेम्स में। पर भाई जल्दी ये होगी ख़त्म गेम, फिर शुरू करेंगे अगली गेम। तब तक के लिए बाय, धन्यवाद।